This big old box is a super exciting one. This is a collaboration we're doing with Jim Green that's definitely the most extensive collaboration we've ever done. It's the most design, it's the most back and forth, it's the most prototypes, it's the most I've learned from a collaboration because we went into such fine detail that we kind of stumbled on certain aspects of boot design and why they design certain things that I had no idea about until we figured out, I don't even know how to put it into words. Like through trial and error, we learned why certain brands do certain things and why patterns work in a certain way. And so it's been a really cool learning experience. But more importantly, this boot is so cool. And I think it's something that really doesn't exist right now. And that's my favorite things to do is if there's a style of boot that I want, if there's something that nobody's making, that's what I really enjoy doing. And I think we've made something that you really can't get anywhere else. And I love it. So what is it? Well, this is a Jim Green collaboration. And we've collaborated with Jim Green in the past with the Barefoot African Rangers, where we took their African Ranger upper and designed basically from the sole down by putting in the leather insole, the rubber midsole, and then helped design the Anvil outsole. That's that Barefoot style outsole. That's really flexible, really malleable. It's zero drop. It's got the Jim Green wide toe box, and that's an awesome little boot. I love it. I have a pair in my truck now. I always have it there just in case. You know, for the bear hunt I went on, I always kept a pair in my backpacks. It's so light and it's a dependable enough boot that at any point I could switch into them. I wear them way more than I expected to just because they're so convenient and so comfortable, and it's a nice recovery boot. But it doesn't do quite as well as more American style boots for like real hiking off into the backcountry, for work where you're gonna get a lot of stuff into your shoes and your boots, because those African Rangers are pretty short. And so I was like, Gareth, what if we made a taller version of African Ranger? What if we tried to infuse American boot making patterning and the styling of American boots, that Americana look of American boots? And we infused it with that Jim Green South African construction techniques, the leathers you use, the way you make your certain boots, to combine the two to make a really unique boot that doesn't really exist on the market. Because that's what I really like doing with this kind of stuff is if someone's already made something, it's not fun to just remake something. But when you see a need in the market that nobody's done yet, that's the stuff that I really love, trying to make something really new and different, solve problems in a new way. And I think that's what we've done with this boot. And I have not seen the final version because we've gone through more prototypes than basically all the other collaborations combined to get this boot to a point where it is so good. So this is just a quick intro to this boot. We'll be doing like a more detailed breakdown of all the different prototypes and what we learned and how we learned it. And obviously we're gonna cut it in half and release the boot. But I just want to get some box so I can start wearing them and give you guys a little preview of what they look like and how they work and all that stuff. So, what is this boot? Well, it's going to be called the African Trooper. You know, it fits right in line with the African Ranger. We're going to call it the African Trooper because, like I mentioned, we're trying to infuse that Americana style of boot making into the South African way of making boots. And one of the most iconic boots of all American history is the jump boot. It's that paratrooper boot. It's that, we just did a video. I don't know if the video's out yet or not, actually. We either did a video or a video is coming out soon about the paratrooper boot and how cool it was and how impactful it was and how it was a boot made for some of the most badass dudes in World War II who literally jumped from an airplane and parachuted down behind enemy lines. And so they had to have durable boots that just would not fail at any cost behind enemy lines. So I wanted to take inspiration from that pattern of the jump boot, that paratrooper boot, and put it into this collaboration. And so that's how we ended up with the African Trooper from the paratrooper name. And so now let's unbox it. What knife are we unboxing it with? We're unboxing it with this Demco knife that we just got. It's the little Tonto blade. I think this thing is so cool. A little fixed blade knife, nice little camp knife. I just like the blade shape more than anything, honestly. And there's 8 boots in here. And I think some of these boots are the prototypes, the different various rounds that we went through over and over to get it to a point where it's at. Then I think 3 or 4 of them are the final production boots that we're going to be doing all the footage and all the content for the release of this boot. So, okay, so it looks like, I bet these 4 are the finished prototypes and these are the actual prototypes. So we'll put these over here. I think these are our final versions. we've been working on this since like, I think even December of last year. So this has been like 6 months of going back and forth. And Jim Green's in South Africa. And so South Africa time at like 2 a.m., it's 8 a.m. No, at 2 a.m. here in the US, it's 8 a.m. over in South Africa. And so it's been quite the process, staying up a lot of nights and going back and forth. And so it's very nice it's a very sweet moment to finally have the final prototypes in hand after like 6 months of work. Okay, now let's do the unboxing. First time seeing the African Troopers, the Barefoot African Troopers. Let's see how they turned out. Ooh! Yes, the all black. These look so sick. These actually look way sick. Oh my gosh. So you can see we clearly pulled a ton of inspiration from the actual jump boot, the paratrooper boots, because you can see we got basically the exact same toe cap, quadruple stitch, but in 2 rows. We've got basically the exact same heel counter style, the same arcing sweep to that pattern that's around the same height. These are technically 8-inch boots, and these are, I think, supposed to be 10, but with the sole and everything, they're right around the exact same height, actually. And they just look so good. This blacked out pair looks so good. Dang. Oh, I didn't even realize it was the black sole, too, the black Anvil sole. That looks so good. And you can see, this very American styling, because we've got these arcs, we've got these sweeps, but more importantly here at the tongue you can see, this is one of those elements I was talking about where I didn't even realize what it was for. I didn't understand what they did this little horseshoe shape for until I was so involved in a boot design process that we actually felt the difference and targeted the differences between having this horseshoe shape versus it straight across. And we'll go over more of that detail when we do the actual iteration breakdown. But this thing turned out so good. And I love this leather. It's really it's got that matte finish to it, but it's very saturated. It's very conditioned. It's a nice feel to it. I just love these blacked out pairs. Next up, let's see what the next color is. Ooh, yeah, look at that. They're Houston brown. I really like this. Their nubuck leather. It has a really nice dull sheen to it. It ages really nicely. Like my African Rangers, I've got a pair in black like these. I've got a pair in the fudge, but I don't have a pair in these yet. So I might be wearing these for the break-in. The size of these. Oh, actually, they're too small. Yeah, this is a cool color. And next is the fudge. I'm excited to see this one because this is the color we did most of the prototypes in. It's one of the more popular leathers. It's a leather color that I really, really like that Jim Green does. So let's check it out. Yes. Look at that. That is a good looking boot. So those are the 3 colors. We got the fudge for a little bit lighter color. You got like a nice dark brown and you got a blacked out pair. These look so good. And yeah, just look at compared to the inspiration. I think we freaking nailed it. So these are the 3 colors we're doing the African Troopers in. They launch on the 27th, and we'll give you more information as we go along, but this is just a quick little preliminary peek, little sneak peek at what we're doing. Next video is gonna be a lot more in-depth, going through all the little details, every little nook and cranny, and how we change certain things to get to a certain point. So if you want a pair of these, be sure you get on the limited edition email list, because we give everyone on that email list early access to all of our collaborations, all of our sales, all of our new product launches, so you can make sure you get a pair, but more importantly, so you can be first in line so you actually get yours before everyone else. So sign up for that email list if you're not already, and be on the lookout for more of this content. And thank you guys for all that you do in supporting these collaborations. They're my favorite thing to do. It's been a huge part of learning about boots and shoes, not just from how they fit and how they wear, but how they're actually designed. And it's what allows us to continue to grow this thing and continue to improve what we're doing. And it's going to let us do the things that we're really that are going to be really cool when we hit that 1 million subscriber mark. We've got some really cool stuff planned that I think you guys are going to love. So thank you guys, and huge shout out to Jim Green for being willing to do this with me, because it's a big project. This was a huge project, took a ton of time, and so huge shout out to Jim Green and the people at Jim Green being willing to make these projects and the prototypes and keep going over and over and over through all the details until we get it just right. And so now it's perfect. So thank you guys. See you.